deservingly so, came through with a victory right there. So here we are, game number 2. Going to be coming at you. I did have a couple of updates for you guys as far as the brackets are concerned, at least from what I can tell. I was looking at Stay Green. They're up 1-0 over their opponents. Internet Gangsters looks like they unfortunately got a forfeit win over their guys, so they're moving on to the next round. Denial Esports up 1-0 over Simplified Gaming. Team Excellent and 007 currently still in the first game, actually. You got TMSR and Donkey Kong also currently still in their first game. Again, TMSR, they're using Archie Tiger. Like I said, I believe it's at the rigger. He's not tagged up or anything like that. He's a very late put in on the team roster for this cycle, so I believe he is just a ringer. We'll definitely get more information on that as perhaps this weekend moves along, of course. But he is playing, and they're playing against Donkey Kong right now, like I said, in their game number 1. And the Lions versus Crowplan, I'm not sure with that either. It looks like the brackets just might even be bugged with that as it does happen. So we'll definitely get some updates for series like, well, as Reason Gaming also, they're up 1-0 over Shit Happens. Or I guess it's no longer Shit Happens. It's actually now they're called Willow Keeper is their new name. Of course, Shit Happens, though. The team that actually did fairly well in the DreamHack event, finishing 5th/6th place, coming out of the BYLC, of course. That is a different team, though, than what we saw at the DreamHack event. So now they're known as Willow Keeper in this event, a definitely different roster. Anyways, what matters is the match that we have ahead of us here. We got, again, YLTP taking on The Law, and we are into the picks. So let's start taking a look. We got the bands coming out. Scout, Ophelia, Cupid the Forest, Warbeast. I believe that those were the same exact bands from the same exact captains coming out right there. So that's where things stand right now. As far as those bands, Engineer, the first pick this time around. This time they go the NG first pick. That means Ratchet Hag going to be the response. Ravener then coming out from YLTP. So, last game they valued the Ravener with their first pick over the Engineer. This game they're not going to make or they're not going to, I don't want to say mistake necessarily, but they go with the Engineer this time around. I think that definitely makes a little more sense. Again, especially unfortunately this Ravener last game didn't have the biggest impact. They do go Ravener again though, so we'll see if Senelix here, perhaps if he plays it again, it would have a bigger impact this time around. Kraken, the response from the Law. Tempest going to be the final pick from YLTP. So they're going to go the jungle route this time themselves. We'll see how that works out for them. And also if the Law, do they want to maybe address that with perhaps a Parasite jungler or go more of that 2-2-1 style? Maybe even aggressive trial lane instead. So this final pick right here before the next tier band is going to tell us a lot as far as what we should expect. So once again, guys, we're obviously after a little bit of a break between both going into DreamHack and then just a little bit after, but we're back now, and we're going to be going through Cycle 8 here. After, I believe there will be another break after Cycle 8, if I'm not mistaken, going into the holiday season. Let me actually double check on that real quickly. Yeah, so we got Cycle 8, then that means the following weekends, the 2 following weekends, so the 21st and the 22nd, and as well as the 28th, 29th. So basically the next couple of weeks, 2 to 2.5 weeks, that will be off from HoN Tour. And then on January 4th, actually, is when HoN Tour resumes with Cycle 9. So I know that's down the line, but, just to put that out there, of course, we got the holiday season coming up, and going to be no HoN Tour, no HoNcaster at that time, but definitely still, again, very excited to see how things move along there. Then, so that means actually, yeah, the cycles actually end up finishing up by January 26th. January 26th is the final day of cycle number 10, and that's when the cycles will be finished. And in February, although it's not on the calendar just yet, I believe in February is when that playoff tournament will start. Of course, the first place seeded team out of the standings will go to the grand finals, the global grand finals. Right now, that is Stay Green. They're in that first place spot, but if Lion Esports Club is able to say even win out, or again, it ultimately depends where Stay Green finishes, but basically Stay Green is just under 3,000 points ahead of Lion Esports Club. So to get an idea of what that really means, let me actually try to pull up the points that you get for getting first place. Yeah, for Diamond Division, you get 3,500 points for first place. So, obviously that doesn't necessarily mean if they get first, then they're going to pull ahead, because, it goes down the line. You get 2,700 for second place, 2,300 for third, and so on. So, if Lions manages to finish, first or even, top seed, whereas Stay Green maybe struggles for whatever reason, 1 or 2 cycles, it is very possible. It definitely is very possible that Lion Esports Club could pull ahead in that number 1 seed, and obviously why that's so important, because if you get that number 1 seed, you do not have to worry about a whole extra playoff to ultimately get to the global grand finals between 16 other teams, or 15 other teams even. you just go in. So it's very important. It's going to be between those two teams, and then the 2nd through 17 seeded teams will then play in a playoff bracket. Now, it is also still important to get the higher seeding because that'll give you advantages into the playoff bracket. I've heard, I don't know the exacts. In fact, I'll definitely just wait to before making, rumors put out there, but you're going to have advantages being the higher seed going into the playoffs, and it's interesting to see how that's shaping up, especially with also rosters moving around and whatnot between teams. So it's going to be a fun finish, man. It really is, and it's kind of funny thinking about it. This is cycle 8 now. Season 1 there was only 8 cycles, so if this was season 1, this would be the last cycle, of course, but obviously not the case here. Not the case here. So with that said. Oh, cool. Okay, with that said, anyways, here we are back in this game. So a lot of rambling on there, I know, but I want to get you guys information as far as where things are at with the competitive HoN scene. So with that said, here we go. Let's take a look. What has been happening while I've been rambling on? Well, we had the final pick was eventually Aluna coming out from the Law. Then you have the bands. We got Pebbles, Fade, Pestilence, Sandwraith, Rally, Corrupted Disciple. Flux is then the pick by YLTP. Then there's the Moon Queen coming out from the Law. So we know where the Law's going here. They're going the Moon Queen route. Bubbles, the final pick from YLTP. Definitely like that choice. Very aggressive style. Look at that snap pick Behemoth, though. Coming out by the Law. Behemoth, always a fun hero to see. I love seeing Behemoth, man. He's one of my personal more favorite heroes to play, let alone watch in good hands. So excited to see what Behemoth does here, and also how are they going to lane? I mean, it seems like it's going to be more that very possible even an aggressive trial lane coming out here from the Law. That includes the Moon Queen. That is known to be done from time to time. So the Aluna Behemoth, that's a very, very heavy harassment duo of support heroes. They're very, very good in tri lane setup. So good combo of heroes to have. Now, obviously, you left the party over here. They got their tri-lane, or not their tri-lane, but they got a great team fight. They got the Wombo combo potential with their hero makeup. Oh, wrong overlay there. There we go. As far as they're concerned, Flux definitely leads the way. We're on top of the Engineer and the Tempest for that matter. So then you throw Bubbles in there, and I'll even Raven with that Stormblade especially, and what he brings to the table. Just a lot of team fight presence here on the Legion team especially. So the laning phase is going to be very important. Well, for both teams, obviously, but perhaps even a little more important for the Hellborn side to really come out on top of as far as they're concerned. And again, they are going to initially send 05 down here to the bottom side. You got Wretched Hag taking a little bit different of a path, but making his way down here as well, and doesn't look like our Legion team is going to be too interested in interacting with him. Now, Flux is setting up currently at the bottom lane by himself, so they're going to be having a short lane Flux. They got Ravener NG setting up mid. Tempest, of course, planning to go to his own jungle and then Bubble Suicide. But, you look at the Lost lineup, and if you left a party here, the idea, as I was saying, of an aggressive tri-lane is definitely very possible. In fact, it looks like that's even what they're going to be doing. So the lane setup, don't know if I like it or not. You could arguably just send the Bubbles down here to match up against them. Just send Tempest even aggressive off the bat. I mean, you do look, a couple of the camps are going to be blocked, and on top of that, you're having to worry about taking a lot of harassment from this Aluna Behemoth, even kill potential. So if you're thinking that, if you're left a party, it might just make sense to do that right off the bat. They're not doing that, unfortunately. So we'll see how they adjust, though, into the laning stage. That means they're going to waste a little bit of time here going into it, but we'll see how they make their adjustments now. So with that said, you got Flux down here. He is tanky. I mean, he is sitting on basically 740 life right here, as usual. Not necessarily the most getaway potential, but at the same time, he has solid. He doesn't have a blink mechanic by any means, but he can push you back with that magnetic surge, switching it to doing the polarity swap, of course, and then switching it to push. But on top of that, he also has a release for the slow. So, yeah, they do know by now it's a trial lane, and actually heavy denying coming out here by Team Excellence. So good job pushing the lane back in their favor, of course, and not much Flux can really do about that if he wants to stay out of danger, of course. So he kind of just has to sit back. So no adjustments are going to be made by YLTP. They're just going to start like this for now. Again, though, we'll see how it picks up. So early on, Tempest is going to be able to get his yellow camp, but he's going to realize pretty quickly that camp's going to be blocked. There's the wall off right there. No, he didn't get the stun, but they're blocking him in. Flux is in trouble. He's through the trees, though. Moonbeam coming out. Look at Behemoth trying to cut him off. Not going to be enough. The release going to be used. He pulls it. Behemoth wants to get some more damage, puts in some auto attacks, and nobody will die when it's all said and done. So Behemoth, I mean, the wall off was solid, but the fact he wasn't able to stun or get some damage off on him definitely hurt that situation right there. The blocking was good, but obviously Flux did a good job of not panicking too much and eventually ate his way to safety right there. So the kill attempt unsuccessful, but they got the mana potion, so definitely round 2 going to be coming up shortly, I'm sure. If Flux pushes up ever so slightly. So we'll see. So yeah, Fantasy is actually clarifying in chat, so just to kind of push this out here on stream as well. Apparently, so with the whole situation with Pew playing for the Law, I guess this is more of like a tryout situation to see how he works with the team and how they like the situation. So top lane, no, railing on there. Wretched Egg blinking away to safety. Bubbles thinking maybe she blinked this way down, but no, she did not. Actually, Wretched Egg coming out right here, but he's actually going to walk back to the tower. Bubbles putting in the auto attacks. Cell Serpent does connect. He ports in. No, not enough for the kill though. Wretched Egg blinks. And Bubbles is not going to be able to finish her off. Or will he? He's still going, man. He has a Shell Surf coming up in 6 seconds, but guess what? Oh, there comes Aluna. Gets the Bloodlust. Or Tempest comes in to get the Bloodlust kill. Aluna comes in to take out Bubbles, but Tempest with the cutoff first to get the Bloodlust kill, and now Tempest going to be the run. He will be fine. As, yeah, there's no way Aluna's going to finish him off, so that was good timing from Tempest right there to clean up on a Hag. At least Panty's able to get a counter kill, but still in favor of the Legion team right there. So well played. But going back to Pew and his situation for the loss, so I guess more of a tryout. And again, the fact that he's in the captain role as a tryout is definitely very interesting. I mean, Beaver's usually their captain for this team as far as their drafter and whatnot, but Pew does have plenty of experience, to say the least, when it comes to being in that drafting role. So yeah, just trying him out here, it seems like. So by no means is it a permanent thing, at least just yet. Going to see how it works. Speaking of that, though, top lane, you do see Majestics gets picked off on Bubbles right there. So this time, not nearly as good. Panty doing a good job hanging around and hoping to set up that kill. Obviously, don't want to just sit at the bottom lane against a Flux down there. Instead, playing some more movement style and hoping to set up some kills. So well played by Panty when it comes down to it. But I assume Moon Queen is, by all means, having a wow, not that great of a time. 12 and now 13 and 11. I am shocked by that, actually. How is Moon Queen struggling so much with creep farm? Wow. I mean, it's a free farm lane down there, if I'm not mistaken, but for some reason, the creep farm not the highest. Now, meantime, in the middle lane, they turn for a kill onto Aluna right there, and now Kraken's in a little bit of trouble. He does not have enough mana for either. He does have bottle charges. Will it be enough? Ball lining up in 4 seconds. Are they going to dive? It looks like it. Kraken making a little bit of juke. Bubbles coming in. The Kek's dodge right there. Ball lining. Oh, he misses the ball lining, though. A little bit too much forced right there, and Kraken's able to tsunami charge away. So, well played by Beaver right there. Able to live. Flux in the meantime. He's in a little bit of trouble at the bottom side, but once again, he will be fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking back at the Moon Queen. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but I guess I just expected it to be a little higher than what we saw. But in the end, I mean, she has 20 and 12, focusing a lot on denies. Obviously, they've been going for some kill attempts, so a little bit understandable, I guess. But actually, Flux going in right here. Uh-oh. Flux overstepping his boundaries big time, though. He's going to end up getting turned right here. And actually, of old hero sequence on Moon Queen gets credit for the kill. So Nidio's been playing this pretty solid, it seems like, for the most part, up until that point. He got a little too, yeah, I mean, to say the least, a little too aggressive. He should not have been in that area at that time. Behemoth easily walled him off. And before you know it, he got picked off. So all of a sudden, Moon Queen's farm is now looking more as expected at that bottom lane, over that 300 gold per minute mark. Now, middle lane, Kraken's going to take some pressure once again, but he will be fine as the Keg stun just pushes him backwards. Gonna survive. Not a big deal. Top lane, Bubbles and Wretched Egg. Wretched Egg has a 2-level advantage now over Bubbles right here. So Bubbles got that kill initially first, or the assist for it even, before dying. But since then, he's really not going too well. Only 6 and 2 creep farm against a 28 and 16 Wretched Hag. Ouch. Yeah, Bubbles is not having a good time, to say the least, when it comes down to that that matchup at the top side. So, and this is a matchup that, a lot of competitive. Obviously, we see it a lot, and I think there's a lot of back and forth. I mean, some people would even favor the Bubbles in some cases, but there's being the short lane Hag in this case, definitely obviously the lane advantage to an extent there. So But, yeah, Bubbles just not having a good time at all at that top side. I mean, that kind of goes back. You look back at last game. The biggest thing about last game was the supporting cast around the carry just was getting nothing for YLTP Party. Predator was getting great farm, but they were barely struggling to stay above 200 GPM for the whole game. Was all 4 other heroes. So, as far as this game is concerned so far, I mean, Ravener's off to a much better start, to say the least. Sentinelix had a, not the best game. He was one of those struggling factions, but this game doing much better in the middle lane. He needs to be careful not to get turned in the end, and he will survive when it's all said and done. But yet again, another kill attempt foiled right there by Beaver on Kraken. As he's able to Tsunami charge away. Panty's nearby on a Luna. He's looking for a counter kill. Brett chance they get the counter Kraken, but at what cost? Oh, it's not going to be enough. Yes, it will. The tower damages too much. They tried to aggro the tower off him at the last second, but the tower had other plans. And it ends up dropping Ravener right there. So, get to go first, but obviously does come at a cost right there of his life. Meanwhile, Wretched Hag at the top side. Steam Boots finish, has a Ring of the Teacher and Bottle here. And she's level 7, so Brodex 5 level this time, playing the Wretched Hag. Having a good time. Last game it was Sequence, of course. Sequence this time around, playing the Moon Queen, though. For the law over here. Kraken's going in. He doesn't have his release to Kraken, though. He's going to be counted off by Ravener. No counter kills, however. Just putting some pressure on. Engineer forced back. Moon Queen back at the bottom lane. Again, that GPM really starting to rise now. 41 and 30 creep farm. 30 denies, jeez. 25 also coming out for Wretched Hag. A lot of denying coming out here. By the law as a team. Bat Blast hits Bubbles. Will it come to console? Yes, it will! Big Tempest ultimate to lock her down. And they get the counter kill. Bubbles, the dot damage. He should be fine. Yeah, not even going to be close to getting the kill. It's only a level 1 haunt, of course, in that matchup. Makes sense. But not going to be enough to take out Bubbles right there. So, well played. Coming out to buy specifically Tempest. Being played by Zudonix. Going the jungle fact this time around. Seems like it's working out decent here. 2-0-1 on Tempest. So, yeah, definitely working out. As far as he's concerned, 690 gold per minute now saved up for him. He's got his Ring of the Sorcery. Once again, they may try to set something up here in the middle lane, but Beaver's playing a little too defensive. Will this be the time? Oh, he missed the ball lightning. Ouch, he missed the ball lightning. I mean, there was no Tempest ultimate, so again, I don't know if it would have been killed by any means, but it's always unfortunate to see those, those chances at least for some good harassment to come out. Missed. They're going to still go once again, though. Another stumble hit. There's the ball lightning attempt. This one a little more difficult, and it does miss. Unfortunately, Port coming in from Behemoth, and they're going to go for a counter kill, actually. Tempest was not ready for that collapse. He gets taken out. Double damage on Kraken did not help the situation either. Well played right there by Team Excellent. They were ready to make something happen. Top one in the meantime, they're going to kill right there. And Moon Queen's actually, one auto attack away from death, but barely lives. Panty did pick up the cone of Bubbles. But, wait, where did Panty go? Panty, that was a power throw. I was like, wait a second, he wasn't up there. So Moon Queen actually, it was a 2v1 against Moon Queen. She barely survives. Looks like Bubble CD used the kill field. Yep, trying to get a kill right there to Moon Queen, but barely survives. Panty with the power throw up to the top lane, helps kill up there. And Flux is not able to finish him off. Now Tempest charging in the middle lane. Bottom tower pushed in, though, by Wretched Hag. So, kind of some lane switch up going up here. Hag's taking more of the long lane now as Moon Queen is up to that short lane here. She's got her Energizer finished. Wretched Hag, on the other hand, I want to say he's had something purchased, but he's farming 363 gold per minute. Maybe not, though. He has died twice with the 2 assists, so perhaps. 4-1 and 2 Luna. Very solid there. And Sequence is now back to the top lane, continuing to pick up farm up here. So obviously about to pause coming out, but Moon Queen once again having a very good time. We hit 390 gold per minute right here. Coming out in her favor. Flux in that short lane, obviously a very, very unfortunate lane to be in for most of it. He only died once in the end, so that's good, and it wasn't really, he frankly should have died 0 times, but he made a very poor decision to run up when it was clearly kind of a trap being set up and eventually got taken out. But again, only dying once, though, in a very deadly tri-lane setup, not too shabby in the end. So he's kind of done his job in that sense, but at the same time, he is only a level 5. He's only farming 89 gold per minute, or 88 gold per minute even, so yeah, not in the best of spots. Looks like Panty just DCing right there. Quickly rejoining, though. It's good seeing Panty at DreamHack, as well the Law, for that matter, has a team. Of course, Pew not there, but you did have Panty, Sequence, Beaver, and Brodex 5 level. They didn't have it was what an interesting group that was, man. What an interesting group that was in Group B, especially at DreamHack. Of course, they did pick up a win over Reason Gaming, and that was something. But overall, we're not able to advance on as Shit Happens defeated them. They beat Shit Happens. They would have been going on, but
damn time.
It wasn't to be. It was not to be. So in the end, though, I'm sure they all had a lot of fun when it's all said and done. Now back to online play here with HoN Tour, of course. Beaver on Kraken, I mean, he's done a great job. He's 260 gold per minute. He's been at a disadvantage in the lane for pretty much this whole time, but again, staying alive for the most part, getting some good farm. Wretched running into Bubbles, taking the stun right there. Runs right into Tempest, unfortunately. Trying to get a counter to Bubbles. Tempest chasing down. Bottom turn is Path, though, and misses Bubbles. They take cover to dodge the last auto attack, and they get the kill when it's all said and done. Beautiful play coming out right there from YLTP to get the counter Brodex 5 level. So they get him caught a little bit too far. Pushed up, and big kill coming out. Overall lead, though, 4,400 gold lead in favor of the Law on top of a 2,700 experience lead. And now Moon Queen's banging on the top tower here with Behemoth, and this should be a free kill. Doesn't look like any resistance really going to be coming out. Engineers running over, unless they have a TP here shortly. Okay, well, there's your vulnerability. Yeah, it's not going to be a TP. Okay, now a TP is coming out. They're going to try something right here. Will it be denied? No, it will not. And that's just, the timing is off right there from YLTP. The TPs were a couple seconds late after the invulnerability, and then even after that, I mean, the fact that they easily still got the tower kill and then energized away very quickly, that's just a, really worst case scenario there for YLTP, because 2 TPs were used for basically nothing. And now Flux is picking up farm, but that's going to come at a cost right here. Wretched all of a sudden blinks in. Moonbeam comes out. The auto attack should be enough. Yo, the push away. The dot damage, though. Going to get denied. No, Ravener? Oh, what are they doing? Okay, I was going to say. He thought maybe he could live, but that was going to happen. Meanwhile, over here, Babylon's coming out. Jackals wretched attack. They are going to live for it now. Moon Queen off to the side, though. Chase it back. Ravener, the Moonbeam to finish him off. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. The dot damage not going to be enough to take these down, but actually Luna finds them. Oh, Power Throw, nope. Trying to get them to get to take cover. No, he gets to take cover off. Good timing right there. Good job on Majestics. He did not fall for the fakes right there. Coming out from Panty. That could have been his death if so. And he does get away. So again, I guess it's more of a 2-for-1 in the end, as Flux did get picked off on top of the Wretched Hag. Moon Finale was used right there as well from Moon Queen. But, once again, big picture for the Law. Definitely in a better spot here. You got Helm of the Victim now purchased by Moon Queen, so the typical Whispering Helm going to be coming out. Ooh, text out his Kraken in mid-charge, so kind of a funky animation there, but of course he's going to be fine. I'm looking at some, just refreshing the brackets there real quickly. We definitely got, as usual, some great round of 8 matchups coming up. Denali Esports, they win 2-0 over their opponents, so they're moving on. They face the winner of We Are Spies Team Excellent. You saw one there. Stay Green moves on, as like I said, Internet Gangsters also got a forfeit win, so they moved on. Stay Green will be playing IG next round. That's going to be one possibly to watch. We'll see. TMSR is up 1-0 against Donkey Kong, and then actually middle lane here we got some action though. Beaver in the meantime. Beaver's going to be countered on. He was standing his ground, but all of a sudden Bubbles especially coming in. Beautiful kickstone as well. And Kraken this time cannot charge away. Beaver's been doing a great job of surviving for the most part, but this time was not to be. Panty's nearby. He may try for a deny right here. It's not going to be good enough, though. Yeah, going to be close. Not worth it. Easy tower kill. Astrolabe is finished on Tempest. There we go. Using it right there. And now pushing this middle lane. They're just going to keep it going. And the team fight, the Wamba Combo potential is by all means here for the Legion side. Their ultimates are ready to go. And the Law knows this. This is a very risky team to try to fight against. So it goes back to the idea of what they were trying to accomplish here. Win the laning phase, which they definitely did. But that doesn't mean that they have a victory by any means on their hands. I mean, this is a very dangerous team. One pick like that, especially if you're fighting at numbers disadvantage, you do not want to fight against this Legion team at all. So they just had no choice but to really just give up those 2 towers right there. And before you know it, YLTP kind of closes the gap a little bit. Because while that was happening, obviously looks like at least some double stack, maybe even triple stack. I want to say double stack, though. Ancient's being cleared by Moon Queen right there. So her farm, she's got the full Whispering Helm. Ball lighting at the top lane. Pew's going to get caught up by Behemoth. The release comes out, Kex, and he gets the shockwave off, so some good damage. And actually, this this Fissure kind of blocking Raviter, but not enough for a counter kill. Wretched actually just didn't have enough mana for any cleanup. Got the Sonar Scream off, but not nearly enough, and now we're going to see a top tower push. So once again, the same situation. They're at a numbers disadvantage. Shockwave's now on cooldown. You probably don't want to fight this. Behemoth doesn't even have a portal key though either. Anyway, not surprising. It's only 15 minutes in. Has a Blood Chalice Striders actually, so Blood Chalice a little bit interesting of a choice to honestly to go as far as dessert, but you know, wants it for that mana purpose. Could argue maybe even going for the Ring of Sorcery could be a little more efficient, but Blood Chalice always good, and obviously a little bit cheaper. Release Crack, oh, it's going to be big. It catches all of them right as they come in. They're locked down with the rest of them. There's the Flux Ball, there's the energy field, and here we go with the Wamba coming turning around. Moon Queen, she got the main finale off. Will it be enough? No, it will not. She will eventually fall. So they got 3 kills, but they lose 2 in the process. Will it be more? The Fissure Stun just out of range, and that's how it'll finish. So it ends up being a numbers advantage in favor of the Hellborn side, but they did kill Moon Queen at least. However, they may lose at mid-tower here now. So that was, I don't know about that. Yeah, if you're going to be porting in here on the Legion side, you got to make sure to, it's hard to do, obviously, to coordinate, especially for lesser experienced teams, but porting on top of one another like that all at the same time against a hero like Kraken is just silly. We saw why right there. Kraken's like, wow, thank you very much. This makes it easy. Yeah, that was, I guess it could have been worse. So they at least got the Moon Queen kill, but still, I think you could argue that the overall picture, because Moon Queen even got some, if not, did he get a double tap there? Yeah, Sequence got a double tap there out of it, so before he died. I think the Law actually came out on top there in that fight. When it's all said and done, definitely pretty well. So, yeah, the decision right there to port on top of one another, unfortunate coming out by YLTP Party, because again, they have that Wombo combo, and we almost saw it come into play. I mean, they got the Flux Pull, and they got the energy filled up, but by then the damage was already so much that they were losing heroes left and right. Now, bottom lane, interesting sequence going down here. Or fight, perhaps, I should say. Sequence actually a player name. Kraken's charging away, but he was right around, and this Ball Lightning hits. And this Ball Lightning will set up a kill on the Kraken. Well played right there. Kraken in the meantime, or excuse me, Raviter in the meantime has that haste turn activated. And actually the portal key already picked up, so again, you look like a last game Sentinelix, just complete different sides of the spectrum here. The last game, the first game, it was just a bad game, frankly, for him. He could not get anything going for whatever reason. This game, different story. 360 go from him. He's got the earlier on portal key. He's definitely had a very solid impact for the team. And this is going to be an easy tower kill. Wretched Ag's like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to port away and go elsewhere, farm elsewhere. So another bottom tower kill. And YLTP Party doing a good job of just taking advantage of what their strengths are. And that is just clumping up and pushing as a team. I mean, again, it just goes back to their Wombo combo potential. It's just way too intense to handle. That, you know, even if you have all 5 up for the Law, it's still pretty risky. In fact, here we go. Raviter jumps in first. There's the release of Kraken. There's the Flux and the Engineering combo coming out. Tempest can't get an ultimate off. No, he can't just hit. He finally gets it off. He locks down Moon Queen, but the Shrunken Head is up. Down goes Tempest, and the Legion team's on the run. The coordination wasn't 100% right there by the Legion team, and now they're in trouble. Raviter's going to fall. 3 players end up dying in total. Make that 4. The only survivor actually ends up being Engineer. So a near genocide turnaround. They only lost Wretched Hag when it's all said and done. I mean, again, so you like the jump, but yeah, just get in that Shrunken Head before that fight. That's where obviously the Law is feeling a little bit better, and that showed there. I mean, the damage on Moon Queen was basically nothing. Even though they finally got a Tempest ultimate off, it just wasn't nearly in time. He got locked down by something else. I think it might have been a Fissure Stun even in the background. And that caused issues. So now Behemoth has a portal key, as he actually uses a shockwave right there to help get up the Ancients, so not going to have it for a near team fight. But again, with all those ultimates already being used in the last team fight, might not be happening for a little bit, so understandable that he did so right there. But definitely coming on top as the Law, and now that lead going pretty solid here. 8,000 gold lead. And you're looking at nearly a 12,000 experience lead in their favor. So you got Wretched Hag here, Lightbrand. I'm sure the Grimoire actually at least has a Blessed Orb, I would think. If not a full Grimoire coming up here in the very near future. Moon Queen already in their 1,800 gold saved up. Legion side, look at Flux's build, a double bracer build coming out right here. He's just really trying to bulk up. Stand strong on these fights. Definitely have him use a portal key, but he's not really close. I mean, he's got a lot of build up here, arguably even too much. I mean, double bracers maybe a little over the top, but again, really just wants to make sure he's bulked up. And look at this choice too by Bubbles. Arcana picked up as far as his first item choice. I mean, I assume that's going to be turning into a Hellflower, but that's an interesting decision there, and not going the portal. Again, this is a team that's so big on having that wombo combo and the jump potential, and you know, what better item to have in here like Bubbles than a portal key, especially for that matter. But choosing to go the first Hellflower here. You do see Ravender trying to make something happen here at the top lane. He does some good damage right there on the Red Dag, but the pressure was overall too much. Bat Blast came out. Moon Queen assisted with her damage. No Moon Finale needed, and obviously took up the kill. On to Ravender right there, and now there's a Firebrand purchased coming out from Moon Queen. So the Moon Queen factor most certainly being a thing here. Kraken going to be tempted in the meantime, or Congo going to be tempted in the meantime by Kraken. And the Hellborn team right here. This is going to be stopped at all. That's an interesting decision. Kraken's like, what? Now Hag's kind of tanking it. I think the idea with that fissure is that, I don't even really know the idea, to be honest. If they're all range, I guess that'd make a little more sense, but anyways. Doesn't really matter. Oh, the Legion team, you know, coming in really late, and they're not even as a team. This could be bad. Energy Field comes out. They already lost Bubbles right here. There's the pull in. Kraken cut an awkward spot. Kraken will fall, but now here goes Moon Queen. Moon Finale is up. You see the damage. Engineer falls. Tempest goes down. Flux is dropping. Ravender goes down, and Flux will fall. Not where you want to fight if you love to party right there. A genocide coming out. GG, well played's being called. And that is going to do it. Yeah, the decision there. I mean, at that point, it could have, very arguably, could have been over, honestly. But that's always we talk about that worst case decision, worst case scenario, really, to jump in at that time, right as they kill Kongor to get the token of life. And they weren't even as a team either. That was just the coordination was a little sloppy there at the end. And they knew, though, that I'm sure that they were definitely behind by quite a bit at that time in the game. So they tried to make something, poking a little bit, see what they can maybe get a pick or two, but that proved to be a very costly decision, and in the end, it is a victory for the Law. So the Law's going to be moving on now. They face the winner of the Lions versus Crow Plan, and again, I believe I don't know if that's actually happening right now or not. No, yeah, that must have already happened. The brackets are it's a little bugged here. It looks. I assume that the Lions won. Nothing against Crow Plan or anything, but I assume that the Lions won that series. So probably going to be the Law versus Lion Esports Club. You got TMSR. They did win their series 2 games to nothing, so they're going to be moving on. They faced the winner of Recent Gaming versus Willowmaker. And that series, I believe, is actually, or game number 2 is going on right now. Game number 1 was a victory for Recent Gaming. Let's take a quick monitor right here. Looks like actually a pretty back and forth. We may even look to jump into this one here to catch the finish of that real quickly after a short break. Stay Green versus IG is another next round matchup. I know that's one that really a lot of people are going to be looking at, and again, very possibly could cast that one later on today. Denali Esports moving on, and it looks like We Are Spies is also in a good spot. They're up 1-0, and I think they're in game 2 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're in game 2 right now, and it looks like that's also another pretty even game right there. So going up against the kind of a new Team Excellent there, as you see with their roster. So we're going to take a short break right here. We'll come back, though, and we'll jump into one of these 2 matches here and continue on before wrapping up for now.